welcome everybody to FSM After Dark on a late night. This is a super late night than normal, January 12th, and it's a little bit late, and that's how we like it. We get jazzy up in here. Normally, um, it's myself, Rich the Christians, normally in here, Kalani Lua. Took a little break because of the holidays and whatnot, and I'm glad to be back. Today's show. We're gonna have Juice with us, Jesus Cano, our red reporter for Franchise Sports Media. We're gonna be talking about Gus Bradley's hire, talking about some Lakers. We're gonna talk about NFL news. I mean, this is a big weekend coming up. Don't forget, if you guys don't know, tomorrow on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 9 Central, I'll be having a special WWJD talking Green Bay and Rams. I got a couple Green Bay guys, a couple reporters, good friends of mine. They're going to be joining me, as well as Lorenzo Rena. So Zoe will be with me, and he's going to be breaking down some stuff. He has an article coming out Friday talking about receiver DB matchups this weekend. Maybe the best ever. Real talking, maybe the best ever DB matchup weekend, DB receiver matchup weekend. What's up, Gus? Autumn Wind joining us. You know how we can get down on a late night. No beer for me tonight. I'm laying off the beer. I've had a really good day. 2021 is all about positivity. So no matter what's going through, no matter what's happening in the world, yeah, definitely we're going to stay positive, and we're going to keep it positive. But right now, let's start off with a little bit of NFL. We'll get to the Raiders once Zeus gets up in here. And let's start talking about what we have going on in the NFC. Let's start with the first game of the weekend. It's the Green Bay Packer and LA Ram game. And this is one of those games where if you're a Packer fan, you're excited, but there's some trepidation. There's a little bit of hesitation because the Rams defense is playing lights out. It's one of the best, if not the best defense left in the playoffs. And you look at it, they can get to the quarterback without pressuring, without blitzing. And that's something that not a lot of teams can do. Tampa Bay is pretty good at that as well. And for Green Bay, that's the highest scoring offense in the NFL. And the best matchup of the weekend isn't Brady versus Breeze because they don't play against each other technically. The best matchup for the weekend is actually going to be Devonta Adams and Jalen Ramsey lining up. And then now that he's here, let's bring him in. This is one of FSM's newest additions to the roster. He's a guy that I've got to know a little bit in recent weeks, and he's a good dude. I enjoy his time. He's funny, and hopefully the edible's hitting. You got Jesus.
We're just gonna put that out there right now.
Hell yeah, it's After Dark, baby.
What's up, man?
Man, welcome officially to the FSM family, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you bringing me in. I really like this environment, man. I work best when it's late at night, man. I'm up till like 4 or 5 in the morning and wake up like at 2 or 3 p.m., bro. This is a nice environment. This is a really good idea. Some juice to be on here, and anything fucking goes, right?
Hell yeah, all day. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, bro. So, I'm gonna pull the curtain back a little bit. Was it last week? You, me, and Zoe had a meeting, and we're like, "What's a good time?" And I'm like, I don't know, afternoon. And you're like, yeah, noon. And then we're like, okay, cool. 12 o'clock works. You're like, yeah, I got to get up early for this meeting. We're like, what the fuck? It's 12 o'clock. How you going to get up early? Like my day, I'm like 6.5 hours into my day, bro. What kind of shit is that?
I know, bro. It's great. Happened to me this morning. I woke up. I was on the college football, the press conference with the Alabama and all them. And I woke up at 6 a.m. for that, bro. Once it hit 6:40 and it was over, bro, I knocked back up and I didn't wake up till like 12:30.
Man, must be nice. At 12:30, I was knee deep in helping kids with schoolwork, bro. Like that's the.
Yeah, bro. That's why I pull out, man. I'm like, shit, I'm not gonna risk that right now.
Different subject for a different day. So, we were talking about as I was getting into a little bit, I was talking about this weekend's matchups. The NFL. We're starting with the NFL, and the Packers-Rams matchup, to me, that's the most intriguing matchup. And it's not just because Green Bay is my squad, and I'm one of them people that spent 500 bones on to be an owner of the Packers. You know what I'm saying? I got like a little, what's it called? I got like a couple screws in a nut somewhere in Lambeau Field, so I
Yeah.
can say we, because I hate when people say we and they're not a part of the organization. That's like a pet peeve. But
Yeah.
anyway, so the most intriguing matchup to me is the matchups within the matchup, and that's actually Devonta Adams versus Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, you have the best receiver in the NFL in Devonta Adams. Okay,
Yeah.
and no disrespect to Julio, to Nuke, to Mike Thomas, anybody else that's out there that could be in that group, Keenan Allen. But you have Devonta Adams, whose release package and route running ability, I think, is second to none.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, arguably, because I think he's in the mix, I think he's in the top 2 corners in the game. I'm biased. Jair Alexander I think is the best corner. I'm biased because the Green Bay fan. He's also a Kappa. So happy J5 to all the noobs out there. So I say that because Jalen's been locking down receivers all postseason. I mean, really, even towards the end of the year. I mean, DK Metcalf, he's got clamps put on him. So that matchup to me is intriguing. What do you think about what's intriguing to you about that game? To me, it's the matchups within the game. But what to you is like intriguing about it, bro?
So Rams versus Packers, correct. The most intriguing to me about that is that I'm not convinced that the Rams are a playoff team, man. And I feel like when Green Bay plays them, because I think Green Bay has all the potential to win the Super Bowl, man. And yeah, I know you're gonna love hearing that. Yeah, I think they have the whole potential to go for it all, man. And I just think that once the Packers play the Rams, bro, they're gonna expose how they really are. But that matchup, that Ramsey Devonta Adams matchup, is gonna be a really good one, man.
I do too.
I can't wait to hear what Zoe's gonna have about that. Breaking it all down and stuff like that. I wish he didn't go to sleep so early so we could be up on this too right now. It'd be a really good discussion.
I don't even know if he's asleep, but he's gonna be out with me tomorrow. Tomorrow at 7, I got a special WWJD edition. That I have 2 dudes, my 2 homies that cover Green Bay, Jacob Westendorf and Jason Perrone. They're from Game On, Wisconsin, who that is one of the best Green Bay sites for Packer fans. They actually do Jamal Williams show, and today on the Jamal show is Jamal Williams, Aaron Jones, and AJ Dillon all at the same time on the show. Is a pretty badass show. But I have them on, and then Zoe's coming on. And the thing is, with Zoe, he actually has an article that's going to be coming out probably Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that is about the matchups of that game. So I mean, and you look at, and not just Ramsey and Adams, but bro, look at the fucking interior line. You got Elton Jenkins, you got Corey Linsley, and whoever's at the guard, if it's Lucas Patrick or somebody else. And they're going against Aaron Donald and Michael Brockers. That's that right there is if you like football, that's a fucking man game right there with those guys. And then, the weather and Brandon Staley, who I think, I'll break it here, I think he's going to be named the Chargers head coach by the end of the week, or even after or early next week. Yeah. I think it's almost a done deal, to be honest with you. I think they're just waiting because of the playoffs. But the other big news, we'll get to that, is Urban Meyer potentially, I think, is by tomorrow he's going to be named the Jaguars head coach with Trent Baalke as his general manager. I texted some of the people in franchise about that. What's up to my boy Perry? So I like those matchups, and then Aaron Rodgers against Brandon Staley's defense in those elements. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think it's going to be unanimous, bro?
I don't think it's going to be unanimous. I think there's going to be some people that are going to want to be able to vote for Mahomes and stuff like that. But I mean, what Rodgers has done this year has been incredible, man. He has my vote for the MVP if I had one, man. He's been incredible, insane.
Oh, dude, he's just a fucking man, bro.
Maybe Jordan Love getting drafted really lit a fire under him, man.
I don't think that was it. Like the thing with Jordan, the Jordan Love pick, bro, was he was a top 4 or 5 quarterback in this class, a first round pick. He has comparison wise, arm strength like Brett Favre, accuracy, mobility, whatever, like ways wired. He's a lot like Aaron Rodgers. On the flip side, like I think Rodgers is like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, what do I got to lose? Like, if I buy into coach's scheme, and I seen last year, I knew the scheme, but I didn't know it like this, and we went to the NFC title game. If I buy all the way in, fuck it. I could go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I like what we're doing. I like that, and he took a whole different approach. He lost that ugly ass Danica Patrick as his chick too. I mean, that broad. I don't see the big deal with her, bro. She built like a boy. She got a resting bitch face, and she looked like her snatch probably stank.
I didn't think about it that way.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like, you got to have a supermodel type chick, right? You know,
That's what you can do with Jimmy G, man.
You want no bland ass Danica Patrick. Like, A-Rod, look, I look, Aaron, I know you don't watch this. It's fucking 1:30 in the morning in Green Bay. But look, bro, if you ever get a chance to flip, check this out. I'll hook you up with somebody, bro. Come to Vegas. I'll plug you. I'm a dot connector.
I hope that offers for me too, bro, when I go out to Vegas, man. It's going to be lit when everything's out and open, man.
Oh, bro. Man. Did you see the tweet I put out on Friday about the city? Like, no, it was a picture that I forget who I got it from.
It was like a drone shot. Or like maybe a hotel shot. I don't know.
It was from a hotel. I think it was at the Bellagio. Yeah. And it was like, I can't wait for the summer with my bros, like Super James, G Minor, TQ, like, and then when you guys come out and you guys are actually going to be able to vibe with us and really like see how our weekends are, like working and then like the working and playing, because we work hard, play hard. So but yeah, that's a whole nother subject. Yeah, Perry, I talked about the snatch. That's why this is after dark. That's why we talk like this. Gus got to link up with us. Gus, you got to hit me tomorrow, bro. I may have some work for you in Vegas, homie. Real talk, like some side hustle. Gus is my dog, bro. Me and Gus go back a few years. I got to tell you about Gus off the air.
That's dope. So I actually have one of your tweets pulled out. So,
oh shit,
your thoughts on the head coach openings, right? You mentioned Urban Meyer, you mentioned Brian Staley earlier, and then you have Atlanta, Joe Brady, Doug Peterson going to the Jets, Brian DeBall going to Houston, and Robert, whatever it's pronounced, to Detroit. And Squeeze called you a hater for putting Salah on there.
Yeah. Squeeze is a hater, bro. Like, if we're really gonna break it down, like, look at. I don't ever talk shit about. I don't. You don't see me go in on the 49ers. Even though I can't stand them. You don't. The Raiders. I got love for the Raiders. I mean, those are my people. So
yeah,
like, I don't talk shit about the Raiders. That's the only two teams that he has that's cool with that. I don't like that. We don't have the same love for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, here's the deal. Like, that was just gut reactions. Okay. Like, I think Joe Brady is going to be paired with the GM in Atlanta pretty quick, because they feel, that one I feel pretty strong about. I feel really strong about Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. I feel very strong about that. Robert Saleh, he'll bring over Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother, as his offensive coordinator. And I think that's going to be in Detroit. And but the sleeper is the Jets with him, because he's meeting with the Jets and they may want to lock him up right away. But to me, he's from Detroit. He's a Michigan dude. Mm-hmm. It's about time he gets a head coaching job. His defense was stout the last couple years. What he did with them this year, he turned shit into sugar. You know what I mean? Like, that defense was banged up and they still play pretty damn good all year long. Yeah. I think Peterson to the Jets, that was my gut, but I don't think it happens. And I think the Jets don't have the balls to hire a coach that just got fired right away.
I saw that. I think Jason Garrett was interviewing for the head coach position, right?
Who the fuck wants Jason Garrett?
Yeah, I forget what team it was that
the Chargers.
Oh, it was the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, who the fuck wants Jason? The Staley to the Chargers. I'm hearing that's just about done, and I think Doble's going to end up in either Houston, where he's got a relationship with the new GM, he Saban guys, and then like Saban and Belichick being tight, or if the Jets if Saleh decides to go to Detroit instead.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, you know, people talk about Eric Bieniemy, and he would be the first guy. Like literally, my guys in order would be Bieniemy, Brady, Saleh. Those are the top three guys to me. If I was, and the best job to me is Jacksonville. Like, and I don't think it's close. That would be to me the best opportunity. Those are the guys that I would hire, only because Bieniemy's paid his dues. He may not be a great interview. He's a football guy, and players swear by his leadership, and that's what you have to go by. I don't give a fuck if you can cowtail and jerk off the owner to get the job. I don't care about that, bro. It's about winning games. I don't care if the owner. The bottom line is, if you're winning, you're gonna get paid eventually when the fans come back.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Like, why wouldn't you want EB? He's been calling the plays for 2 years in Kansas City. And if the offensive genius, Matt Nagy of the Chicago Bears, who called plays for a half a year, got a head coach job, why the fuck hasn't Eric Bieniemy got one? That's just bullshit to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this list that you made, are these predictions that you think are going to hire, or do you think these are just predictions that you think just best fits for the team? Because I know when I'm making predictions, I do it for teams. I've been like, this is what works best for the team, and this is probably what's going to fucking happen.
Some of those are based off of conversations I have with people around the NFL. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then some are when the Peterson firing, because look, a week ago, I said, keep an eye on Philly. That's not a safe job. Go back and pull it. And I retweeted it. It was retweeted yesterday. I bumped it and said, hey, this was from a week ago. Like, basically, there's a lot of people that don't want to give out flowers. I want my flowers. I want my flowers. Okay. So, then I have some people say, oh, they said he's safe. Yeah, that's not what I heard. So, so some of it's are based off of information, and that was a gut with Peterson, just trying to connecting the dot with him and Joe Douglas. But then upon talking to people that I know, that shit isn't flying. That's just not gonna fly. They want somebody younger, and they want a splash name, and Doug Peterson's not gonna be it.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus his name's gonna have a negative connotation for a cool minute. Well, it's probably we're gonna have for the next couple of years, gonna be on that for a minute, especially for that. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I pulled it up. I bounced that. See, you don't have the controls yet. I gotta show you how to get.
I know, and I've seen this right now. I was like, oh, whoa! I know you were mentioning about something, and I'm like, what the heck is this dude talking about? But now it says Bieniemy played against Bieniemy in high school.
He was a beast. He I got a cool little Bieniemy story. Like we know some of the same people. His fullback, one of the fullbacks at Colorado back in the late 80s, early 90s, was a gentleman by the name of Anthony Weatherspoon. Yeah. Ant and I worked together right when I got done playing ball. And Ant was, at that time, he was another guy. I think he didn't go to Amont. He was an OC guy, though. I think maybe went to Orange Lutheran or something. But Ant was 6'2" at that time. He was just like 300 pounds, but he was like a 260 pound fullback for Coach McCartney in Colorado, and helped turn the program around. And he was a guy that helped bring Bieniemy there. And we had a lot of, and then I did a show in Vegas. I was on a show with Mike Pritchard, former Buffalo great. And we have a lot of mutual friends. Mike, Coach McCartney's son. And so it's just really cool to be able to see guys that, in positions to get, potentially get a head coaching job.
Yeah, man, it is. So we're on top end of stories and stuff like that. You know who I didn't know was a UNLV guy?
Who's that?
Shug. I didn't know he was a UNLV guy.
Oh, you didn't know Shug?
I didn't know Shug went to UNLV.
Yeah, he ended up he actually had a pretty solid career there. But if I remember right, there was, I think, an incident, and I may be wrong, and I don't want him to come after me. But but it, but I think he didn't get kicked off the team, but he was a vocal leader on that team. And
Yeah.
there was I think something. His ex-wife's son was on UNLV's football team up until this season. I'm
Oh,
not gonna say
really?
that. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't think they want it out there like that. But it's not his son. She remarried
Okay.
and it's her and her husband's son. But yeah, so he was a rebel this last few years. Good kid, real good kid. Love him to death. So yeah, Suge's a big UNLV guy. Keenan McCardell, another one.
Hmm.
Icky Woods, Randall Cunningham. Um, Before your time, Eric Wright, former USC corner,
Hmm.
they kind of got in some trouble. I think they caught him with ecstasy, and he
Okay.
got removed from the team. Pete was still the head coach then, and he ended up going to UNLV, redshirted for a year, and then played the next year. I've talked to a lot of people that's been around the program, and they're like, yeah, when Eric Wright came, it was like an NFL player playing corner at practice, and he was just locking everybody down. And it was just like, yeah, like when we play next year, he's going to be really good. But it was really cool. It's really cool to when you go check out the school when you're there, you'll see you already been to the stadium. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to check out the campus. I drove back to the Thomas and Mack Center because I know it's like right across from like Big Chicken, which is a really good restaurant that I like when I'm out there. But
phenomenal,
yeah, I'm excited to see all that stuff, man. How it all goes down and shit like that. I'm just excited for the future of franchise, man. A lot of people gonna wake up soon and realize what the fuck we're really about here.
bro. Yeah, like you know what's crazy is like we have a good group of people, but more importantly, like the people that come to the franchise and like people that jump on our shows, the people that come in, they're great. I won't say they're fans because they're more like family. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody's more
True.
like family. So we have some good stuff in store for 2021. It's all positivity, man. No negativity. But let's talk about something you're doing. You're covering the Raiders for the franchise,
Yep.
and Gus Bradley hired today as a new defensive coordinator. Now I'm not gonna rip the Raiders or say anything about Ken Wisenhunt being the guy they put on the initial picture they put out there, and then they brought it back in, but a bunch of people screenshotted it, and it was like that's not a good look. But um, what do you think of the hire?
I mean, I think it's not something. It's not something extraordinary. It's not going to be something that's going to get them in the super media in the Super Bowl the next year. But I think it's good to have fresh faces. I mean, from a lot of stuff we were talking about, there was a rocky relationship with the previous DC and stuff like that. So I think it's good to have that going on right now. Just a completely really good slate and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be a progression thing, man. There might not be results next year. That's going to be that the Raiders are going to really need to focus on in the draft, in free agency and stuff like that to build up that defense. But I think Gus Bradley is the guy for it to be able to build them up.
You know, I'm going to reserve judgment, and I'm going to reserve judgment not because I don't think Gus Bradley can't do the job or is not good at the job. Okay. I'm going to reserve judgment because, and Raider fans know, um, I'm pretty much a voice of reason. A lot of times I kind of speak
Yeah.
truth. It's the same kind of defense Ken Norton ran, and it's the same defense you've been running or trying to run, other than with Paul Gunther.
Yeah.
Like, how many times like it's predicated off the getting to the quarterback, and you haven't been able to do that. So unless you're going to get the quarterback or get to the quarterback, I'm worried that it's going to be the same old same old. Now I do like the guys he brought in. um I do like the guys he brought in as coaches.
Yeah.
Their names, I'm trying to find them. I'm looking at my Twitter feed, I'm trying to find them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking
uh,
at an article about him right now.
um I mean, according to Vinny Bonsignor, good friend of mine, good friend of the franchise, um, they think it's a home run hire, that they nailed the hire.
Hmm.
Um, um, and he brought in the two guys that he wanted with him. In fact, let me just go to Vinny's feed. Um, Vinny and I worked together in LA.
The other thing too is that Bradley's going to be working with some pretty young people, man. I mean, Pharrell Crosby. Littleton, Mullen, Arnett, Jonathan Abram. He's gonna have a couple of good guys for a couple years to come, and he has to make the immediate development right away, man, because these guys are so young and have so much potential.
Well, yeah, they got to it's got to be right away, but in all honesty, like they got to develop quick.
Yeah.
Like and you got to get more from Cleveland Farrell. I mean, he was hurt this year. And I think you're gonna get it from him, but he's more of just like all around defensive end. He's not gonna be a guy that's gonna jump out and get you 10, 15 sacks. And I think they kind of knew that. And then Crosby's got to get sacks more consistently because most of his sacks come in bunches. He'll go 3 games where he has like 9 sacks, and then he's silent for 4 games. And he'll have like 3 games where he's got 4 sacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 2 guys he brought in are Richard Smith and Ron Milas as a linebacker and DB coaches, respectfully.
Nice.
So
I saw Marinelli was staying.
That's a Gruden thing.
Yeah.
No, that's a Gruden thing. And CJ Baldwin, the Raider realist for franchise. He had an article that's coming out tomorrow about Gus Bradley. It's called Just Average Baby.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll if you can kind of see where he's going with that, but he wrote about it last week that all Gruden's hires have been, it's the good old boy network. Gunther was his boy, brings in Marinelli, another one of his guys. Bradley was a linebacker coach for him for a couple years when he was in Tampa. That's where he kind of got his start. So, it's all there. I don't know if I would have gone that route. That's just me. But like, who am I to second guess John Gruden and the Raiders? I mean, those guys get paid a hell of a lot more money than I get paid. And they got a ring. I don't. At least Gruden has a ring. I don't. At least a Super Bowl ring. So I don't know. I mean, but the players got to step up. Some of that's not on the coaches. Some of that's on the players.
Yeah, coaches can only do so much, man. Coaches can really only do so much. I mean, you've seen it before and stuff like that, bro. You can give these people the most knowledge that they can in the world, teach them all the fundamentals and stuff like that. But if they aren't doing that on the field, man, if they aren't getting those sacks, if they aren't playing the log, can't keep up with the receivers and stuff like that, then there's only so much they can do.
Yeah, and when you're paying, I mean, look, they're going to probably be at close to $60 million under the cap when it's all said and done. I mean, you figure I don't think they're going to keep Trent Brown. The best ability is availability, and that's something he hasn't been during his tenure with the Raiders. Tyrell Williams, same thing, hurt at the end of the last year, didn't even play this past season. And then, LaMarcus Joyner, that's just like a production. And that's over $31 million in cap savings without a cap hit. Like, you definitely have to explore, getting rid of them, getting rid of them, and then you could potentially bring in guys that are whatever free agents that are available. I don't have a list in front of me.
Yeah, I'm about to pull up the list real quick.
Go ahead, pull up the list. Let's take some questions. It's a good question from Perry. Perry's my guy, man. He always has good questions and whatnot. He asked, "Will Trent be cut or traded?" I think he's going to be cut. I mean, no one's going to take that massive cap number on. I mean, there's only a few teams that can afford it. Jacksonville, Indianapolis are 2 off the top of my head, but there's no way that he's not going to get that money anywhere else. And he was unreliable this past year too. I mean, let's be real. When you get COVID twice, that's kind of a fucking problem. I mean, you're not doing something right.
Yeah.
Autumn, when do we think Ingram comes to Vegas if the cap allows? Melvin Ingram, I could definitely see something like that happening. And there's not the cap allows, the Raiders are going to have the money. They're going to get rid of those guys to free up that money. I mean, shit, you give me opportunity to fire 3 fuckers and bring in $31 million. Hell yeah. Like, guys that aren't performing and aren't producing on the field, get the fuck out of here. What do you think, Zeus?
My bad. I was looking through the list.
No, you look at the list.
I'm looking at the list right now.
Go ahead and give the list of free agents. Let's go.
Got you, man. So according to this football trading rumors and stuff like that, it's a big list, man. But some notable guys I see on the D-line, man, Jadeveon Clowney.
No, hell no. No. Keep. What has he done? He's done shit.
He's been a subpar player for the amount of hype he had in high school and college.
Never had 10 sacks in his NFL career. Everson Griffin you get more production out of Everson Griffin than you do out of Jadeveon Clowney. He plays the run well, but you have that same guy with Cleveland Farrell for a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Let's run it. Let's just keep running. Let's run
Let's see. Some notable guys I'm seeing on this way. Mario Edwards used to play on the Raiders. I remember that. Let's see.
But for a reason.
Let's see. Damn, man. Solomon Thomas and Ndamukong Suh. Some of the free agents here on the D line that I've seen so far.
Solomon Thomas, hell yeah, probably. I'll take a shot at him. I will say a name because he's probably going to get cut. Preston Smith from the Packers.
Really?
I don't want them to cut him, but they're going to be about $20 million over the cap, so they're going to have to find a way to get underneath it, and that's if the cap stays at like 175 as the floor. I think it's going to be more like 185, 190 because there are teams that's not going to be able to keep players. But Preston Smith, he gets to the quarterback. Playing the run is 50-50, but he's super athletic, and he can stand up if need be.
Let's see. I'm at the linebackers now because we're talking about defense here. Not too of a stellar list this year of free agents, man. It's gonna be a cold free agency. Got Xavier Rhodes at defensive back from Indianapolis.
Hell no, he gets toasted. They don't need another corner. They have a first and second round pick playing corners. I think they need a free safety. They let Abram play in the box and go get someone that could play. For the life of me, I don't understand why the fuck they didn't go sign Earl Thomas.
True. Let's see who's on this list. Well, what do you think the Raiders are going to use that first round draft pick with? Do you think they're going to go? Well, I think they should go on the defensive side of the ball, but like what position specifically on the D line? Because I always say, bro, you can never go wrong with D line or offensive lineman in the first round of the draft.
I think that's a good question. I think it depends on who they sign as free agents.
Yeah.
Like the bottom line is if they can land if they can land some impact guys up front, I'm all for that. I mean they have money invested in Kwiatkowski and Little, and I think and that I think that's a scheme fit. I think that's going to be adjusted. I could see another backer, but it's going to have to be up front, and they're going to have to build that like potentially the 49ers built their D-line. But you can bring in D linemen so you can have a good group of guys. But Tack McKinley and Vic Beasley are guys that fit what Gus Bradley likes to do when they're still there, so they may get an opportunity.
Yeah. I'm looking here. Someone mentioned Justin Simmons, and he's ranked as one of the top free agents this season. Plays safety.
He was he with? Is it Denver?
Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see. Justin Simmons.
I'm having a brain fart. Yeah, Denver. Yeah, Denver. Yeah, he'd be an ideal fit. I liked him last year. I think they franchised him.
Yeah, and then the other guy underneath him is Anthony Harris from Minnesota.
Minnesota's defense was trash, bro.
Yeah.
It was trash.
Yeah, he was named All-Pro in 2019.
Yeah, he had I think he had 6 or 7 picks that year.
Yeah.
But the defense was trash. Did you see this right here that Todd McShay had Jalen Waddle going to the Raiders?
Yes, I was seeing that last night. I forget whose was it, but I was seeing a bunch of stupid stuff. Like someone had Arizona picking a fucking running back and with the 15th or the 14th pick.
That's McShay.
I was looking at it, I was like, what the heck?
Bro, that's McShay. He that dude's a clown, bro. I don't know. I don't like the dude. I just know a little too much. I'm not a McShay guy, but Waddle, look, here's the deal. First of all, I'll give him love for trying to gut it out last night, but there's no way in hell I would have fucking played in that game. I had too much money on the line. There's no way I'm playing in that game at all.
So I was just having a conversation with my kid I'm mentoring. His name's Mateo. He's probably watching this right now. on the topic of Jalen Waddle and stuff like that, he thinks that the best, there's some good wide receivers in this draft, man. I mean, with Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, and Jalen Waddle, he thinks out of all these people, Jalen Waddle is going to be the one with the highest value, even if he didn't, necessarily spend too much. But he thinks he's going to be the best one out of all this class.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so last year I said that Jerry Jeudy was the best route runner I seen coming out of college in a number of years. I think since really like Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Devonta Smith is a better route runner than Jerry Jeudy. Devonta Smith to me is an immediate impact wide receiver in the right system. I would love for him to fall to Green Bay. I think it'd be an ideal fit. I don't think it's going to happen, but I did talk to a few scouts. I was texting with some last night. They're worried about his build. I mean, he's 6 foot, but he's like 170 pounds. And those types of receivers, like Tavon Austin and I think John Ross, are like comparable. And you've seen the type of years those guys have had. Yeah. So that's going to scare some teams off. I think a receiver that's not getting enough run is Bateman out of Minnesota.
Yes, he was on, I think, McShay's, and he had him going in the first round. I could see these ridiculous picks in a bit, but yes.
And this is true right here. This right here, nobody was on his dick like I was on his dick all last year, Justin Jefferson. That was my guy.
Like, yes, I think he went under the radar too at the beginning, man. And once yes, and bro, once I started getting into cards and stuff like that, I started getting a bunch of Justin Jeffersons and stuff like that, bro. And I started paying attention. He was for real balling out this year. Nobody knew much about him. People were all stuck on the Jerry Jeudy, the CeeDee Lamb. Even people like Brandon Ayuk, he did go in the first round, I think, but not a lot of people were talking about him. He had an okay season this year for them.
Brandon Ayuk is not a great route runner. He's a body catcher. But he's great with the ball in his hands. He's like a running back with the ball in his hands. Last year, just like Jeudy was a better route runner than Justin Jefferson, but I thought Jefferson set up DBs better. I think he ran more of a complete route tree. I think you could use him inside. I think put him on the boundary, put him in the slot. And he played all 3 receiver positions in college, so he has an understanding of it and a grasp. That was my guy, bro. Like that was the one guy where I would have I would have traded up into. He'd have been the first receiver taken for me. I'll put you like that. He would have been he was my wide receiver number 1.
Yeah.
And I feel that way about Devonta Smith. I mean, Jamar Chase is I love that dude too, but Devonta Smith, there's something about the way he sets things up, and I'm just getting into my really digging into my evaluations. So in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna have my receivers done. And as of right now, it's Chase and Smith 1 and 1A, 1A, 1B, and then but Bateman's gonna be really high up there. Waddle with the ankle, that scares me. I wouldn't have had him play last night. If I was Nick Saban, I mean,
that's an interesting topic, man. A lot of people in the NFL, I forget who was advocating for him to not even play in that game, man, because of the stock and stuff like that.
Well, there was a bunch of NFL people were. I mean, like Patrick Mahomes. I think I don't know if LeBron, but there's a few NFL people that are like, bro, like whoever somebody needs to stop you from playing. Like you really could do more damage than anything, which is going to cost him some money. Look at the DB from Ohio State, Wade. Like he lost a ton of money last night. You know, and the kid I feel the worst for is Wyatt Davis. I mean, you come back to school, you opt out, and then you come back and then I don't know what the word is, but it looked like it was an ACL. And he may have been one of the top guards taken in this draft. And I'm biased with him. I know his father and his grandfather, who I worked for, NFL Hall of Famer Willie Davis, God rest his soul, just passed away last year in 2020. Wyatt had he's been a stud since he was at Bosco in LA. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking over what's his name? McShay's picks. Had Devonta Smith going number 3 overall to the Dolphins.
Maybe he did it on an edible.
starting to kick in too. But yeah, he has him going a lot high. I'm not too keen on having those receivers up that high, especially at number 3. Even especially, I think that Smith's physique is going to be an issue, man, because you have people like DK Metcalf and stuff like that big, running around in the league. He's going to have to adjust. He's going to have to eat up during the offseason and stuff like that.
And that's going to hurt him because it's not going to be a traditional scouting combine. So that's good. That's going to hurt him a little bit. Okay, so I'll preface what I'm saying. If Deshaun Watson is not traded,
okay,
let's just say, okay, if he's traded to Houston, he's not going number 3. Okay,
he's traded to who?
If Houston trades him to Miami, excuse me, he's not going number. If Houston trades him to Miami, he's not going number 3. Like if we're gonna be honest about it, he's not going number 3 at all. They're gonna take the quarterback, and if it is Fields, if it's somebody else, but there's I don't think that he goes there. Now on the flip side, I think you're gonna have a receiver go top 5, and I think that's going to be Chase because there's more size, explosiveness. Like he is a difference-making receiver. Yeah. But I think in that 12 to 30 range, there's going to be about 4 or 5 more receivers taken. But the thing is, it depends on the quarterbacks too, and that leads to the question: what do you think? Do you think, as Gus wants to know, you think Justin Fields' stock fell?
Did his stock fall? I don't know. I think that really, man, when people go back and look at the performance against Clemson, they're gonna get reminded. I thought that the Alabama was gonna steamroll, the whole time. I knew that it was, they were gonna come out. Ohio State was gonna come out strong and stuff like that. But I just thought Alabama was totally outmatched. Hold up, someone rang my doorbell.
Oh damn, he got the late night Fifi coming through. He got the chicks coming through late night. So, Gus, to answer your question for me, I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not that high on Fields. If I'm being a buck with you, like I always try to be. Part of the reasons why I'm not that high on Justin Fields, is his personality. There's too many character flaws and red flags with him for me personally. Now, when it comes to on the field, like. That's the second time in a big game, dude didn't show up. He didn't show up last year against Clemson, and he didn't show up this year against Alabama. I know for a fact that on his recruiting trip to Florida, he rubbed the coaching staff there going into his college career when he was a senior in high school, rubbed them the wrong way, coming into coaches, coming into the meetings with sunglasses on, being real standoffish and real just like you got to come at me more than I got to come at you. One coach I know there called him a slap dick. Said he's just a slap. He's a little buster. He called him a bitch. He at that point he was glad he didn't go there. There are some people I know that question the legitimacy of what he said to get out of going to Georgia, just so he can get out of it and go play somewhere. So I'm not a big Justin Fields guy. Right now he's number 2, but like. The kid from BYU, I'm gonna watch him a little bit more. He may be the number 2 guy. Yeah, Zach. Duke is slinging, and he did it against top-notch competition all year long. He played 11 games.
Yeah,
and he played well in all of them. There wasn't a game that he played like trash.
Yeah.
So
the other thing too you have to look at is the history of Ohio State producing quarterbacks. It hasn't been stellar at all. So that leads to a little bit of skepticism.
Yeah, it's like Steve Spurrier wide receivers and Steve Spurrier quarterbacks. Like if I want a quarterback, I'm looking at USC. I know there's a history there, or I'm looking, even at Miami. There's a history there. You got some really good ones, especially with Schnellenberger's guys, with Kelly and Kozar, and even Testaverde had a very good career for a number of years.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure even, when you're looking specifics, like I'm pretty sure plenty of pro teams are looking at the Alabama for wide receivers and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, you have guys at Bama. You have Julio Jones, Ridley. You have some dudes that could play that have success at that level. Perry,
so
go ahead.
What did Perry say? We'll serve to the fans. What did he say?
He said, "What? How do we see Kyle? Where do we see Kyle Pitts going? Kyle Pitts going?"
Well, let me make a comparison real quick. I mean, tight end, right?
Yeah, tight end from Florida.
Oh, I mean, tight ends don't normally get selected that first round too often,
Oh,
right?
he's going round one, bro.
You think so?
I think he's going. I would say the highest. Hawkinson went what 10 last year, or something like that, to
Yeah.
Detroit, or 9. He's better than Hawkinson or Hawkinson, whatever his name is. I'm thinking of the club. I'll say I don't have the draft order in front of me, but I think he's going top 12. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was top 10. Like he's a legit dude. I think him and Brevin Jordan, and I think Brevin Jordan's a second round, maybe late first round guy. But that's a Vegas dude. Brevin Jordan, Bishop Gorman. Shout out to that young man doing his thing. But Kyle Pitts is different, bro. He's one of those guys that's built like a receiver.
Mm-hmm. Like Darren Waller.
Yeah, he's not as thick as Waller was.
Yeah.
But this dude is unreal. Like I beginning of the year, I was like, oh yeah, this guy is pretty good, but I like Brevin Jordan better. Man, I watched Florida so damn much this year, and I hate the Gators. And to watch them, I was like, this motherfucker right here can really ball. Like I gotta give him my man love.
So you're talking about what?
What were you gonna ask before?
Oh, so you were talking about Zach Wilson. Your guy McVay has him going number 4 to the Falcons. Yeah.
Depending on who's the coach there, let's just say it's Joe Brady. I think Justin Fields fits better. And how crazy would that be? Okay. Justin Fields in Atlanta, he left UGA because of he said that there was racist comments that was said to him at UGA, but he ends back up in Georgia with the Falcons.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, is Zach going there? Wilson going there? If that's Brady, and I even think if Bieniemy gets the job there, I think that would be a solid pick there. He may, and then you got the kid from North Dakota as well, North Dakota State.
Trey Lance, my guy Mateo's really high on that Trey Lance guy.
I like him. He is a lot like Fields, where he's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
But the dude can play and he's mobile. He's another one that I think is going to sneak up on people.
Yeah, well, out of high school, he had offers to play D1 at like defensive back, safety, and stuff like that, just because of the way he could move. But he chose to play quarterback, North Dakota State.
It's not a bad program to go to, though. If you're going to not go D1, that's where you want to go.
For sure, especially at the FCS level, man. But did you see his performance? I forget who they played. North Dakota State had that like one-off game. I forget
the showcase game.
Yeah, basically it was a showcase for him.
Yeah, he threw his first interception of his career in that game.
Yeah,
but he played well. I mean, like, okay, you're a young man. If you're in that situation, in terms of you being able to go out there and play ball, right? Mm-hmm. Or opt out and get ready for the draft. If you're in his situation, or what would you have done, or what will you do?
Well, man, if he would have gone in last year, he would have gone in the first round too. I would have just not done anything. I felt like, based on the performance last season, there's a lot of guys that opted out this year that could have also done the same thing, but I would have opted out of that, man. It's just a little too risky.
I'm torn because, like, I know me, if I'm not a guaranteed like top 3 pick or top 10 pick, because the money is so,
yeah, it's such a difference.
Yeah, like I'm probably gonna go out there and play. I'm gonna do whatever I can to increase my stock. I'm a competitor. That's the Mamba mentality in me, bro. Like I'm gonna go out there and just I'm gonna try to eat somebody, bro. Like Mike Tyson them. I'm gonna eat his heart. I'm gonna eat his children. you know.
But on the other side too, man, it's like I don't know. Maybe because I have a different approach and stuff like that. But I would have maybe just chilled out for a bit. I mean, yeah. But I think it also sucks that he didn't have a huge season, man. I was excited to see him play against Oregon earlier this year in the first game of the year.
Yeah, that was going to be something I would have liked to. So wait a minute, I got a question that's nothing to do with sports, but it's got everything to do with Zeus. How the hell you get the nickname Juice?
This is a story I like telling. All right. So this was about 2018, summer of 2018, right? I was hanging out with my friend Carlos a lot and stuff like that. The story's nothing too crazy. Um, but we went to this New Japan Pro Wrestling show that they had at the Cow Palace. That was pretty cool to go back into that building and actually see something go down. And there was this wrestler named Juice Robinson that I really liked. And but I'm not a huge I don't follow that league consistently with everything else. I'm a pro wrestling fan, but I don't consistently watch stuff overseas and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, this guy's is pretty cool and stuff like that. And my at the time I was trying to find a nickname or I wouldn't say an alter ego, but something that went down with me just for people to be able to recognize me and stuff like that. Try to build a personal brand. I guess that's what 18-year-old Jesus was thinking at the time, right? So he was like, hey man, I know you've been struggling with finding something, but why don't you go by Juice? And I was like, I guess, man, what's the worst that could happen? I just had it there as a joke and everything and stuff like that, right? But then there was this one day I was covering a high school football game. It was at Liberty High School, really good folks out there. And people started chanting my name, started chanting. They didn't chant Jesus, they chanted Juice. And so slowly but surely, man, that just stuck around. I finally signed something that goes on. And it's cool. It's funny. I'll let anybody call me Juice, but I won't let my friends that I went to high school with or my family call me Juice because I find it weird.
Well, yeah, that's like there's certain people that call me Verb. You'll hear TQ go Verb, and there's certain that was what I was called from the homies on the block because I always started shit. I always got shit going. Club people, wallflowers. I walk up, pull the fifis, or someone's about to fight. I'm the one that's like, fuck, I'm gonna throw the first punch. I was so they're like, you're always doing some action shit. You little Verb, and that just kind of stuck. So, yeah, my family don't call me that, but certain people, yeah. But I found it funny because Mike Pritchard calls me Juice, because I drank. Because I would do our show and I would have one of the big things of orange juice, and I would pound it during the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, because we were on from I want to say 11 to 1. So I had this big ass thing of juice I would just pound, and then on Thursdays we would have the homie Starkis, JR Starkis, come in, and he's like a mixologist, and he would make 2 drinks on air for us, and we'd all try it. So there's sometimes where he bring us some vodka, slip it in the juice, and hey, yeah, I feel it. But I would wait till I got home to finish it. But yeah, that's the.
But so what I also do, I haven't done it too much here, but when I'm around people I know, I refer to myself in third person, and I do it the way the Rock does it. So instead of the Rock, it's the Juice, and I do that and stuff like that. And it was funny. My editor-in-chief from this past season, he was like, bro, why do you refer to yourself in third person? And I was like, because people will respect you more, and you'll look like a position of power. And he's like, oh, really? Who told you that? Roasted me and stuff like that.
I'd have been the Juice told me.
Yes, and the other day, my roommate came out of his room and was looking for a screwdriver, and I had one that was 8 different things, right? And I told him, yeah, man, that screwdriver is a jack of all trades. And he says, oh, it's a jack of all trades like the Juice, and walks away. Right in front of Anthony. And I look at him dead in the eye and I see that. You see that? He fucking respects me because he talks to me like that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So Gus says he's old as fuck because he was at WrestleMania 2.
Did you watch pro wrestling growing up, Joe?
A little bit. Honestly, I really didn't watch it until I was probably 10 or 11, because I call them my cousins, my Scott and Jeff Ehlers. They're big time wrestling people, and we've known each other since kindergarten. So and Jeff is 2 years older than us. So he was like, I've known him since I was 4 and they were 6 and 4. So like that's how long I've known them. So like they're like literally like brothers to me. And we were chopping it up and we ended up like I was watching wrestling with them. And then like the first thing, like my first indoctrination to wrestling, well, obviously was Hulk Hogan, but then it was like the Ultimate Warrior was my guy, and Demolition, the Road Warriors. And then I was like, oh hell yeah. And then I liked I low key. Well, then like my next guy was Val Venus, just because like the whole porn star thing, like hello ladies, and he would come out to the porn music and like the popping of the champagne, like that was the shit. So then and then like I got then like the TWA, which ended up being like WCW, whatever. I think it was WC, whatever it was. We started watching that. And I like Sting, and then like that's where like Ric Flair was, and so I started to watch it a little bit, but like I never was like a big wrestling head.
Yeah.
But the one of the cool things was when I was done playing ball, I'd come back home to get my workout on. And yeah, Junkyard Dog was another one that I liked. And I would come home and I'd still hang out with Jeff and Scott. Well, like we every Monday night we wanted to get together and watch Monday Night Football because I'm back in town. Good way for all the bring the band back together. So their mom would be like Taco Mondays. So like she would make a bunch of tacos, like just make a bunch of tacos for us and tamales and everything, and we'd all bring it'd be like a big ass potluck. So on one TV we would have the Monday Night Football game going on, and then we had 2 other TVs, and then one was Monday Night Nitro, and then it would flip when the game was over. The one TV would go to Raw, and then the other TV we had a Madden league that we were all in, so we all put in like $100, and there's like 12 of us, so it's winner take all league. So we had a competitive Madden league going. We had 2 wrestling things going. It was pretty cool. And that's like right when The Rock and Stone Cold became really, really big. So I never really got into it, but I watched it. I'm familiar with it. I'll still turn it on every now and again.
You know what they need to do, man? They need to incorporate more big time athletes and stuff like that, man. Like they used to back in the day, I forget what player was during the NBA. I think it was Dennis Rodman.
Yep, he came out during season.
During the playoffs, man. No less during the playoffs. Went up, showed up on Raw, missed practice, head back over, man. It'd be so much cool celebrity involvement and stuff like that, man.
It was wild. Like that shit was wild. Like I thought it was cool. The storylines, Undertaker was always interesting to me. I liked his shit. But yeah, I mean, I was into it a little bit as a kid, as a young.
Bro, like imagine right now, fucking, I don't know, like a heel or stuff like that right now makes fun of Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City and stuff like that, bro. There'd be a lot more people would be watching and stuff like that, Imagine having Antonio Brown in there during the midst of the whole situation that was going on during the offseason.
Dude, the best was when The Rock was talking shit about Sacramento.
Yeah.
Like when he sang the song and it was like I think like he was dissing the women there, like like that was the fun. I remember watching that. I was rolling, like I fell out laughing. I didn't think by that time I was married and I was covering the Lakers, so like to me I was like I looked at Kobe and I was like, hey, did you see this shit? And someone had sent me it, like he recorded it and sent it to me, and I showed him and he started dying. Like Shaq was rolling. It was one of the funniest things we ever seen. It was a great moment. Really cool moment.
Not a huge sack guy.
Bro, like the only sack I like is my nut sack. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, bro, I'm from Southern California. So you look at I got the Lakers, not the Queens. Okay. That's the only team in Sacramento, so it don't really matter. So, I mean, like, but I will say this: that Sacramento King team with Weber and White Chocolate, that was a fun team to watch. Like, that was one of those where it was like, fuck, I want them to lose, but they're fun to watch. That was a cool ass team. But I'm not a big, like, I don't really like too many Northern California teams, if I'm being honest. Like, as a Dodger fan, I hate the Giants. I really don't mind the A's. because the A's, they're always
They're
been
cool,
somewhat
man. I
cool.
think they're
Yeah.
a team in the MLB you just can't hate unless you're the division rivals, man. Like you feel bad for them.
Yeah, and like really the whole AL West are probably the team I like the most. So I
Yeah.
mean, um, and then yeah, like the Warriors, nah, I'm cool. They're overrated. Um, the Kings, nah, I'm cool. The Sharks, nah, I'm good. Cal and Stanford, nah, I'm a SC guy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
fuck Stanford. Fuck San Jose State too.
I'm not gonna say that. I got some people that played there, and I know, but yeah, I mean, like, and I'm glad to see what they did, but I'm a SoCal guy, man. That's me. I can't give love to NoCal, and Central Valley's cool to me. Fresno's cool to me,
Yeah.
because of you know, Fresno State. I mean, good. I've been able to do some cool stuff over here, but speaking of you brought up like San Jose State. Here's a good question. Will Nelson Aguilar return, or will it be too much money? And if he does, would Allen Robinson be an option? I told you Perry got some good questions, bro.
That's good. Well, Aguilar certainly had a career renaissance this year, but I don't know how many people notice and stuff like that. He had a huge career renaissance. I don't know how much money he would want to get re-signed for like maybe 2 years or something like that.
I think the receiver market is so down, and
Yeah.
Allen Robinson is probably going to be the top receiver. And I'm sorry if I'm an NFL team and I got my choice between Allen Robinson or Nelly, and I've known Nelly since he stepped foot on campus at USC.
Yeah.
I'm taking Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson was underutilized in Chicago. The offensive genius of a head coach, Matt Nagy, didn't get his best offensive weapon the ball nearly enough in the game against Green Bay to finish the season, and in the playoff game against New Orleans. I would have force fed him the ball. And he's as good as gone. I would take Allen Robinson over Nelson Aguilar, and it's not going to come down to money. The Raiders are going to have enough money for a receiver. But
I don't think he'll be too expensive, man. They only paid $1 million this year. He's not going to be a guy that's worth like $10 or $12 million, but it might just be just a little bit more. And I think it's low risk, high reward, man.
Well, yeah, and that's something that Terrell Brown, we have Rails Rants debuting not on Thursday morning at 8:30, and he actually wrote his articles about is John Ross a fit for the Raiders going forward, the Bengal wide receiver. And he used Aguilar as kind of like a benchmark. But here's a dirty little secret.
All right.
The Raiders already have a number one wide receiver. That's Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm.
All the other receivers are just parts of a machine. You have a speed guy with Ruggs. You have a possession guy with Renfro. You got a complete guy that can kind of do everything if they feed him the ball with Edwards. Aguilar is kind of a luxury. Zay Jones is your fifth guy. You don't need to go spend the money on that side. They spent over $50-something million on that side of the ball already. You got to flip the script and get that defense right. You got to get the defense right. So Allen Robinson is, to me, and it's going to sound weird to say as a guy who I'll look at the receiver and corner position more closely than anything, it's more of a luxury at this point for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Honestly. So, I mean, yeah, but if they're going to sign one of the two, it's going to be Allen Robinson. That'd be me. It'd be Allen Robinson. It would, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Shit, man, I had to give Nipsey some love today with the Pumas. You know what I mean? I had to give Nipsey some love today. Neighborhood Nip, man. Damn, it's been almost a year or 2 years since he's been gone.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't listen to him too much. I'm not a guy who listens to too much music, but there was that one song that's like All My Life. I've been grinding all my life. I really like that song.
Yeah, Nip was
very well loved and respected.
Yeah, bro. Like my son and my nephew put me onto him a few years ago. Like I'll say a good 6 years ago or so. And I was like, okay. And then when I remember when he got shot, I got a text from Nick Hamilton. Nick is a good friend of mine. People that follow me a long time know my Nick and my relationship. And Nick was like, yo, Nip got killed. And then another homie of mine hit me, and he was there. Like he's from that. He lives in that area. It was like, yo, Nip got killed by somebody from the set, and I'm like, wait, what? And I was telling Jaleesa about it, and she was like, no way. And then it came out later that he passed, and it was sad, bro. It was sad. His music. There's a certain song, um, that I listen to every day. That reminds me of my son.
Yeah.
There's a few other ones too, like, but the whole Marathon album, that's classic. It's one of the best albums ever. Um, I agree with Gus. No jet sweeps. No more jet sweeps for Rugs.
Yeah. Did you grow up in Corona or am I tripping?
No, I grew up in Upland. Like I grew
Oh,
up like, yeah. So like,
I think you coached at Centennial that I got that confused with.
yeah, I coached the Corona Charters and went to Centennial. Um, so yeah, so like I grew up in Upland. I moved there when I was 4, and then I moved to Pasadena when I was 14, 13 going on 14 for my 8th grade year, and then by my sophomore year I moved back to Upland. I went to junior high out there for a year, and then Crescenta Valley High School for a year and a half. Just getting a little too much trouble. I had
Yeah.
to go back to the block and have, with my grandparents to kind of have them set me straight.
Yeah.
And it's just more comfortable, more familiar. It's a different environment. Like when you go from a neighborhood where it's predominantly Hispanic and black, and you go to a neighborhood, you move to a neighborhood that's probably white and Armenian. Like
Yeah.
you're like, yo, like literally at Crescenta Valley High School at that time, there was 4 African American people at the school.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, this isn't normal. But I did make some cool friends. Actors like Steve Howie, who is on Reba's show, and he's on another show that's really popular right now. I forget the name of it. But Steve was one of my close friends out there. Kevin Christie, a couple other people that, singers, songwriters, and then like down the road, like Tinashe graduated from there. So
Yeah.
which was pretty. She wasn't there when I was there because probably would have got her pregnant or something. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That wouldn't. Nah, but yeah, but like, yeah, so like I grew up in Upland, Upland High School, class of 96. So I mean, one CIF title there, 95, 96 football. Um, it was. No, I love Upland. That's home. Like I went back there for a minute for Christmas and for a few days. And anytime I'm able to go back, like I don't ever want to leave, but you know, it is what it is. And you've been in Northern California your whole life, right? Most of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been in Northern California my whole life, man. It's cool. Bay Area. Grew up in this town called Pittsburgh, but I was in San Jose for a year and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's expensive. Huge culture shock here, man. Like, especially out here. I mean, it's just like SoCal, man. We have city after city after city, man. There's no break and stuff like that. Here, you just show up, and then, like, next town's like 20, 30 minutes over, man. It's huge, huge change, but a lot cheaper, man. I like it down here. I'm having
Well,
fun.
your freshman year, didn't Gabe McCoy go to high school with you? He was a senior year freshman.
Yep. I think sophomore, too. I may be wrong. He might have been. Yeah, no, Gabe, it was junior and senior year for Gabe.
Okay,
And me and so yeah, so he was a sophomore when he graduated. And Gabe was a beast, man.
that's
I
my
don't know if he's
dog.
gonna do to this or anything, but like I think he's on our all decade team for the league. I'm not sure if they're ever gonna release that list, but I think he's first team all decade, man. He really had a really good sophomore year. That defense was so good.
Yeah, I love that dude, man. That Gabe's like little brother to me. So,
Yeah,
um, so yeah, like it was cool because so people don't know, like the first time that you and I actually met was
yeah,
at the UNLV Fresno State game,
yeah,
and you asked me to take a picture of you and Gabe. Like it
yeah,
was just, and then which was cool. I didn't. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take a picture. I think I took like 6. It was
yeah.
like, here, you choose this
That's
one
the
you
way it's
want.
supposed to be done, bro. Take multiple. That way they're not like, oh, take another one, bro.
Yeah, just knock them out real quick, and then it was like maybe what, like 3 weeks later, like Zoe linked us up, 3
Yeah,
weeks or a month later, and it was like, all right, then from there it was like, yeah, coming to the franchise, man. Like, you gotta be a franchise boy.
Yeah,
So,
franchise player, man. It feels great.
man, so we're gonna end it because we've gone over the hour. Like, I'm trying to keep it to an hour.
Yeah.
Because like I can go for 2 and not blink an eye, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, I need to think that, man.
Yeah, you took the edible hit. You could tell you're looking.
I'm looking great, man. I feel great.
What you about to get on the sticks?
What?
You gonna get on the sticks, start playing some games?
Oh, nah, bro. I'm probably just gonna watch Family Guy and fall asleep, man. That's how it all goes down now.
Oh man. Well, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, bro.
All right, yeah, bro. Find me on social media. If you were here the whole time, it's Juice_Kano. So that's me on social media, man. And I really love the concept of this show, bro.
Bro, this may be something you may take over, like where we just bring on the
I
guests.
love After Dark. After you mentioned it, I was like, shit, I should have done this when I was doing high school sports down there. It would have been lit, man. Just write the article, get down here, and just start chatting it up as people are falling asleep. I like this concept.
Bro, yeah, it's like that, but it's like, usually we do it about 9:00, and because we kind of get the end of a game, and people are kind of done, kids are asleep.
Yeah.
The wives are normally asleep, girlfriends, boyfriends if you have them, if you're, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's everybody kind of just posts, and it's like we end up having like Gus will tell you, I think I end up going through about a 6-pack of beer every night that we do this.
Yeah.
Like especially during the draft. And Gus asked, Gus, before you go, you did ask where was it at? Are we gonna do a draft show again? That's the plan. The plan is to do another show where we cover the draft, and we're just debating. Oh, I know you was. Yeah, I mean, I'm debating like one of the things that we're talking about, the different media platforms that we could be using. It could be on this, it could be a different one, where it could be on whichever one. Look, if it's the Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, or on franchisesportsmedia.com. So we will do one. It's going to be all hands on deck. Like Juice Man will be on with us, and because he covers the Raiders. Zoe will be breaking down the college players. I'll be on there. Squeeze will be on there. We'll probably have 1 or 2 former NFL players that will be with us. Just depends on where it's going to be at. We may have an actual real life in studio host, someone that we would love to have. Like we have some things planned down the road. So, yeah. So like there's a little, like, this is my favorite time of the year. Like, I mean, I was talking about it with my guys from Wisconsin yesterday. It's part of me is like, I like Green Bay win the whole fucking thing, win the fucking Super Bowl for me. Like the year, like 2020 was a shitty year, but if I can have the trifecta of championships, if Green Bay wins, my Lakers won, my Dodgers won, and if my Packers win, like they kind of like, hell yeah, that right there is a badass sports year. On the flip side, when the season's over, like it's like right into NFL draft, and the longer Green Bay plays, the longer the less work I'm doing on draft, the more I'm focused on the playoffs, which I don't mind. Like I can cram the draft stuff. I can get that shit done real quick. So, so we have a lot of draft stuff planned for you. And hopefully, good old Juice Man's not going to be on. Well, I may have to do an edible with you for that thing. Squeeze will. I don't know about me, but Squeeze will for sure.
Feels great. Yeah, it feels great. Oh fuck, I forgot you were mentioning something. Oh, happy birthday, Chris G, bro. We gotta shout him out.
Yes, Chris Gowlick, our VGK writer, man. Like he turned the big 4-0 today.
Yeah. And
Gotta
you know
love
what?
it.
NHL's back this week, so it's gonna be a lot of hockey coverage for him. He does a good job. I spoke to him a couple of days ago. I was like, brother, we're part of the same team now. I don't know as much hockey as you do, man, but if you ever want to talk hockey and stuff like that, I'm more than welcome to, bro. He was like, yeah, we'll bounce off ideas right away, bro. So I'm excited for this hockey season, bro.
I didn't even know that. Like, look at that
initiative, man.
I like it. Yeah, we also we'll make the announcement officially on Twitter tomorrow, but we also brought in another VGK writer to help Chris out because it can be a daunting task. DJ Wood. DJ Wood is I've known DJ for a couple years now. Big hockey guy. And he's also a big football guy, but he's gonna be covering. He's doing a lot of VGK for us, so which is cool. So, and then you never know, like Juice will probably end up writing some VGK when he feels like it, you know what I'm saying? And you never know. You know, we kind of just, you know, keep things moving in a good way, and we'll see what happens. But Juice Man over there crushing it, you know, and yeah, Chris G's birthday, man. Like, he, you know, honestly, like Chris is that guy. That's a guy who literally is a if you want to gamble, like the dude is a dealer. Yeah. So yeah, like he's done World Series of Poker. He's like he's the real deal.
He's in the perfect market for it.
Yeah, I know, right? So he's been there a while, but like but his VGK coverage is great. A lot of people didn't agree with this article that got released today, or yesterday about he doesn't think VGK is the front runner to win the Stanley Cup. Mm-hmm. That they're a fringe playoff team. He thinks there's going to be a step back. And, you know, the people don't agree with it. We'll see. You know, I can't say that it's going to be that way or it's not. I don't know. But with that being said, you know, we're kind of saying our goodbyes. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, special WWJD with the guys from Game On Wisconsin. Zoe will be with us. Juice Man may stop in if he's not, you know, sleeping.
7 p.m.
Yeah, you know, you're waking up.
I've slept for 12 hours before. 5 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Oh man, and you never know who else may join us tomorrow. And then Thursday, we're bringing back the franchise show. Me and TQ will be back Thursday evening as well, and that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Me and Squeeze for an hour talking shit, talking sports, probably having a few beers while we're at it. And guys, look. Before I get out of here, I'm going to say this. Be safe. Wherever you're at the next week or so, it's going to be crazy and hectic out there. All I can ask of y'all to be safe, be smart, wear a fucking mask, and let's try to get things back to normal because it's some bullshit. I'm ready to turn up with you guys and have a normal fucking life again. This is some straight baby back bullshit.
I'm ready for those TQ parties, bro, out in Vegas. Once everything's normal, man.
Man, I don't know if you're ready for that, bro. You gotta be. What you need to be ready for is those Super James parties. Super James, that's a whole different level. Like,
it's all good, bro.
Oh boy, what am I gonna bring you into?
Let me know, bro. I'm always happy. Southwest is coming, bro. It's about to get a lot easier.
No, that's real. That's real.
Yeah. So for sure, bro. But yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Everyone out there, stay safe, man. And I can't wait for the next one of these, man. This was fun.
Maybe tomorrow after the other one, we may just knock it out then. Who knows?
We'll see. Bro.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Arrigo. That's Jesus, the Juice Man. Cano on Franchise Sports Media's FSM After Dark. Have a great day, everybody, and a safe night.